Today is the second installment of our investigation into Justin Trudeau's policy of turning Canadian hotels into makeshift migrant camps. Today I'm going to tell you how the refugees abused the hotel workers, especially the female housekeeping staff. Yesterday we showed you the hotel emails and internal government documents that detailed the destruction the refugees were causing in the hotels that contracted with the federal government to house them in their first days after they came to Canada. Now you can check out that report at refugeeinvestigation.com. Now today, I'm going to show you how the Syrians were treating the hotel staff who were just doing their best to welcome the refugees to Canada and provide them with the same level of service as the rest of their guests. The hotels and the staff were going out of their way to accommodate the Syrians' unique needs. Again, I have access to information documents full of emails and internal federal government memos that show us it was absolutely no picnic for hotel staff who had to be at the smiling beck and call of these refugees. In this email that I touched on briefly yesterday, a hotel manager is complaining to their contact at the federal government about the behavior of the refugees in his hotel. The manager here is complaining that the refugees have been taking naps in his lobby. The manager also says that the hotel is a non-smoking hotel, as most are, and when the refugees are asked to stop smoking, they respond by blowing smoke directly at the employees in disrespect. The manager explains that the men in particular do not like being asked by the staff to stop, and they get very upset. Now, in this heavily redacted email, another hotel manager is explaining to his government contact that they have tried giving invoices to refugees who have busted a laundry water pipe causing a flood, broken a window screen, and who have also broken a toilet. What the refugees tell him is that someone else will pay for it. Now that someone else portion is redacted, I'm assuming it says the government there. And when the manager says he told the refugees no, that they would have to pay for the damages, they began to yell at him. So the refugees, they're yelling at the managers who are just trying to stop them from destroying the hotels that have taken them in. This here is another internal government memo meant for on-site government monitors who are supposed to make sure that none of these behaviors are being committed or perpetrated by the refugees on the hotels. This memo says that clients have been washing their feet on the floor in the bathroom instead of using the tub, and the clients are not using shower curtains at all. But that's not where the disrespect for these beleaguered housekeepers ended. The same memo says that there was an incident with a housekeeper feeling intimidated by a male client. She was washing the bathroom on her hands and knees, and he was standing over her, staring at her. The next day, thankfully, the hotel sent a male housekeeper in to clean that room. But the male housekeeper was denied entry because the refugee's wife was in the room. You see, for the refugees, it's okay to leer at and intimidate Canadian women, but the refugees' wives, well, they couldn't even be in the same room with a innocent Canadian man. This is another checklist meant for those on-site government monitors who are supposed to be at the hotels to deal with the refugees so that the poor hotel staff don't have to. At the bottom, under notes, the memo reads, "There is a need for specific sessions for men and cultural and gender sensitivity to address reoccurring issues between female hotel staff and some of the men and boys. These reoccurring issues have caused the hotel to change their own internal protocols." What we can see here is that these hotels were quickly becoming an unsafe environment for the primarily female housekeeping staff to work in. And the male maintenance staff, well, they were constantly dealing with disrespect and damage from the refugees. Let's not lose sight of the fact that many of these people working in the hotels are minimum wage earners trying to work their way up in the world. And many of them are new Canadians themselves, people who waited in line to get to Canada, who did all the right things and who are now working hard to contribute to our country, their new country. And they never, ever should have been subjected to this ongoing abuse unleashed on them by a spoiled, detached man, Justin Trudeau, and his hasty virtue signaling. For a self-avowed feminist, Justin Trudeau imported a lot of misogyny that poor, underprivileged women are now forced to deal with. Tomorrow, I'll share with you some of the things the Syrians let their children get away with, and how children were left alone and unmonitored in dangerous situations by their parents in these hotels. And to see my whole series of reports and to help pay for our access to these damning documents and others, go to refugeeinvestigation.com. For the Rebel.Media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. To see my entire series of reports into the behavior of Justin Trudeau's Syrian refugees at Canadian hotels and to help pay for our access to information documents used in this investigation, go to refugeeinvestigation.com.